I would say So Nice, because that was the first song that I ever done a video for and sent to Channel U. And from that day, when I sent it to Channel U, my life hasn't been the same. And me and Chip spoke about this before, but and he was like, we got this sample by Elton John that we think could really work. And I'm sitting there thinking, is he joking, bro? Like, I come from grime and that, like, and he's asking me to work with Elton John. I'm just trying to get away, bro, because I'm thinking someone's trying to kill me in my head at this point. And I still didn't know I'd been stabbed at this point. So I run to my neighbour's house and I was just knocking on her door. I was like, they're trying to kill me out there. Someone's trying to kill me. I actually lived in a hotel for like 3-4 months. Then moved into a place. Didn't talk to anyone, bro. Didn't trust anyone. Postman knocks on my door. I'm thinking, who's outside? Looking on cameras and just like bare untrustworthy. So I was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't record no music. That was from 2012 to like 15. So with the artists that I've got coming in and out, we've had D Block Europe in there. We've had Wes Nelson, Hardy Caprio, all these artists working in there. To the young artists that are working in there, for them to know that they're seeing some of these big artists come through as well, and they even meet them crossing paths and that. Like, I love that. That's what it's about, man. Like,
hello and welcome to another episode of Insight with the Podcast Club. Can you tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do, please?
Jeez, yo, what's going on? It's DJ Ironik, also known as Ironik, but I've gone back to DJ Ironik now, original settings. From North London. I'm trying to represent North part of London a bit more now because not a lot of people know that I'm from there. Everyone just assumes, I don't know where they assume, but it's North London. DJ, producer, / artist, / entrepreneur, / everything, path creator. I've heard, you know what I'm saying?
Just before we get into your success story, and it is a success story, I want to go back to getting to know Ironik and who he was growing up.
Yeah.
So can you give us a bit of an insight as to your early days and growing up?
Do you know what, bro? My early days, my upbringing was good, no complaints. Never knew my real dad, but was raised by my mum and a stepdad. I had a stepdad from when I was 1 year old. Do you know what I mean? So I always looked up to him as a dad. Very good upbringing, man. Do you know what it was? It was a lot of music-based things going on around me. Mum was always a raver, so she was always out partying every weekend. She was still a good parent, obviously. She made sure the parenting thing was on point, but she was always out raving and partying. And then my uncle was also the owner or promoter for a company called Twice as Nice, which back in them days was like probably the #1 UK garage company or promotion at that time, alongside like Garage Nation and Sidewinder. It was like Twice as Nice was up there. So there was that immediate kind of connection to music even from young. I never knew that was what I was going to get into, but I know that I have memories still of like just music stuff going on in the house. My mum always having flyers. I'd pick up the flyers thinking it looks cool. I'm only like 9, 10, but thinking this flyer looks sick. Like, got whoever on the flyer, you know what I'm saying? And then also I remember like Sundays and, my mum just blaring, reggae music, just hearing the bass lines and certain sounds that I just remember, or like my mum coming in drunk and just playing like jungle or drum and bass. And I'm just like I felt something in me from then, because those are the memories that I have from then and that time. Until I got to like the age of 13, which is, still pretty young. And then my stepdad took me to one of his friend's house one day. And, I just said, I'll come with him. So I went there. And we went in there and his friend was like messing around on decks. I didn't know what he was doing at the time, but he was just playing music, scratching, playing his vibes on the decks. I said to my stepdad, like, what's he doing in there? He's like, he's DJing. I was like, oh, that's cool. I really want that for Christmas one day, Dad. I want that for Christmas. And then the next Christmas, he got me a pair of decks. Do you know what I mean? And that was then when it started, and I knew that I wanted to get into music, which was the next kind of gradual thing. And, just, I don't know, I think just the upbringing just kind of made me just love music, just from hearing it, the different sounds, and just being inspired by the different things that I heard growing up, do you know what I mean? So then my mum would take me to the record shop every week after I got the decks, and that's where it started, man, for me. Do you know what I mean?
Who would have knew that after looking at these flyers so young, that you'd go on to headline them?
Bro, do you know what's mad, yeah? And my mum keeps every flyer I'm on. I don't think she does it now because your man's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? But back in the day, like the first flyer I was on, she's still got. And then obviously she's still got the flyers that she was collecting before then. The craziest thing to me is the flyers that she used to bring home. I used to see the big names, the DJ EZs or, you know, whoever was on it. And then to see my name start going on the flyers and then gradually going up and up to the top, to a headliner, above the people that I saw on the flyer. Do you know how mind-boggling that was for me? Like, obviously, that's just like hard work and, you know, putting in the work. But for me, that was so crazy to see the people that I've idolized and looked up to, and now I'm on the flyer with them. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, that was always such a big thing. I never saw happen. Do you know what I mean? And I think every part of my career I've never seen happen. From when my dad bought them decks to the house, I didn't think in my head, I want to be the biggest DJ in England or I want to be the biggest artist in England or producer. I didn't think that. I just loved doing it, and that's what I did. And obviously the natural connection with my uncle being a big promoter helped out a lot. Do you know what I mean? So
that's crazy because a lot of people that end up becoming as big as DJ Ironik will always say they visualised it and they always knew they was going to become that person.
Yeah.
A lot of people use manifestation now,
yeah,
and things like that, but there was none of that for you.
None of that. I do believe in that because I try and use that now, especially now I'm a bit more older. But I think, I don't know, man, like even when I was younger, I never sat down and said, I want to be a famous DJ one day to my mum. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, she might have a different side and say I did, but I don't remember having that in my dreams. I just knew that I liked doing this, enjoyed it, and treated it like a hobby. Went to the record shop every week, collected the artists I love listening to. First vinyl I bought was probably, I think, Artful Dodger, Craig David, Rewind. That was my first vinyl I ever bought. I was so proud to have that record. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is like the pinnacle of garage music. And yeah, man, from there, it's like, this is my interest. It's not like, this is what I'm going to be. Because also, bro, like, you got to think, I don't think... We didn't have, for one, have like massive rappers in the UK. It was all American, and we had big DJs, but it didn't feel like you could reach that. Do you know what I mean? Like you had to be one in a million to be on that Mobile Awards stage that Soul Solid on, or to be DJ EZ. Do you know what I'm saying? So I never had it in my head really that I was gonna be anything like that.
It's funny that you mentioned Mobos, but we're not going to go there yet.
Yeah.
So. What was your ambitions as a kid if music was just a hobby to you?
Yeah.
If you go back to the 13, 14, 15-year-old Ironik, what did you want to be when you was older?
I loved football, bro. I was into football heavy. A lot of my friends are probably laughing at that because I can't kick a ball for anything now. But I loved football. Like, genuinely, obviously, Arsenal fan. That was what I used to watch every week, like, in and out. Do you know what I mean? So there was a lot of football and just normal kid stuff, man. Like, I don't know, bro. Like I used to like want to run a restaurant and things like little things like that I didn't know what I was gonna be when I was older. But these are the thoughts that I just had. You know what I'm saying? So
Messi or Ronaldo?
But do you know what? I'm gonna say Messi, man.
Has he proved it?
He's proved it, bro. And you wouldn't see him doing interviews with Piers Morgan. You know what I'm saying?
We'll leave that there. All right, so let's go on to your first ever booking in a club.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Yeah, super nervous because I was about 14, 15. And this was by a promotion called Teen Dream. So it was like big, like, under 18 promoter. A lot of under 18s went to these clubs and... obviously, this was my first time stepping in a club, you know what I mean? So I was nervous as hell. But I was so short, when I went into the DJ box, they had to bring out like a crate for me to stand on, to look over the decks, you know what I mean? So everyone's like thinking, who's this little kid in the club DJing? And because all the other DJs, even though it was under 18s, all the other DJs were older, do you know what I'm saying? There was no other DJs my age at the time. So I was nervous as hell, man. It was at Destiny's in Watford. It was called Destiny's Nightclub. If you know, you know. This was an iconic nightclub, bro. Sidewinder used to be there. Heartless Crew used to always like kill off their sets in there. Like, it was a mad place. So for me, I was like, yeah, this is crazy. But, you know, like we spoke about this earlier, like nerves only pushed me, I think, to and pressure only make me go harder in what I do, especially music. Because I have the confidence, but sometimes I always need that push. And even from then, I needed that push to be like, you know, you can do this and you can get through it. And I killed it. So, and then from there, just from that first set, everything just started changing.
I do think fear and I do think nerves will keep you on point.
Yeah.
Like if once you've done something 100 times, you might be slightly complacent.
100%.
But you must still feel nerves to this day.
Bro, still, like we spoke about, like, I'm only human. I'm sure every single artist in the world gets nervous 10 seconds before they go on a stage in front of thousands of people. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, I think it's all part of, like, also showing that you really love what you do. Do you get me? Like, I love this so much that I don't want to mess this up and I have to do a good job. So, but just getting through that's just the main thing, man.
Going back to them early days, So Solid Crew were the cream of the crop. They was popping. Yeah. Everyone knew about them. Everyone knew 21 Seconds.
Legends.
And you actually toured with So Solid back then.
Yeah.
Can you remember what year that was?
I'm the worst with years. My mum's, do you know what? Every time I do a podcast, my mum calls me. She said, you got the timeline wrong. Because I'm the worst at years, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I started so young, everything gets blurry. But I think so it weren't long after I'd done Destinies in Watford, yeah? We got the call from the same promoter that does the Teen Dream and obviously my uncle doing Twice as Nice. They wanted to help me out and, you know, help me be put on some of these lineups. And Soul Solid Crew had 21 Seconds out at the time. And at them times, people or artists would tour the single to like around the country in different clubs, let people know we got the single out, whatever. So Soul Solid Crew were doing a tour, and my uncle asked me, do I want to be a part of the tour, do a few sets here and there, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, these lot, when I tell you at the time, were the biggest thing since sliced bread, bro. Like, me looking at Mega Man, Harvey, Romeo as a little kid, looking up to them like, these are like superheroes to me, do you know what I'm saying? So that was like surreal, bro, and to see their reaction that they got at such a young age, like they were treated like superstars walking in the club and people going crazy. And remember, we never had seen that before. Apart from in America, we've seen obviously the obvious superstars, Jay-Z's and the Diddy's, but in the UK, to see a group like that just walk in a club and girls are screaming, everyone's screaming like they're real superstars was eye-opening for me, man. And I definitely think that inspired my thought process moving forward with what I want to do next, you know what I mean? You know, and not just be a DJ. But yeah, that was the first step in me kind of making my name in the DJ world and, you know, making sure I put my name out there a bit more. So
as the DJ and wanting to do what's next, is this when you got into producing your own music? Yeah.
Literally, naturally, that was next at about 16 years old. But what had happened is I was DJing everywhere. I was doing really well. And then I started like going to like youth centers around the area and stuff. And they had a lot of computer stuff and Cubase at the time there. So they were like teaching us how to work the production stuff. But I never really understood it on Cubase. It was always like a bit difficult for me when I was younger. And then one day I had like a bike accident on my push bike, whatever. And I was at home for like 3 weeks, bro, 4 weeks, because it was quite a bad accident. And my mum bought back a PlayStation magazine, and on the magazine it had a game called Music 2000, but it was like a production game, so you can make music on it, but in the simplest form ever. So like you can literally put blocks together and you're making music. And then I just started doing it on there, bro. I just started making music on my PlayStation. And then I made one beat that was called, what did I call it? My first ever beat, I called it Irony. Do you know what I'm saying? And at the time, as a DJ, I used to go to somewhere called Music House in Tottenham to cut my dub plates. So like, if say like More Fire Crew or whoever done me a special, I'd put it on dub plate so I can play it on vinyl. But every time I went to Music House, there'd be people in there. So I would walk in there and Wiley might just be sat in the corner, or another DJ called Master Steps at the time. A lot of people might know, and Master Steps is massive in the garage world. He was on Choice FM at the time, and I said to him, like, I've got this song I just made on the PlayStation, check it out, what do you think? He said, I'm going to listen to it, I'm going to take it home, listen to it. Bro, that weekend, he played the song on Choice FM. You know how gassed I was. The first beat I ever made on my PlayStation, little me, like, gassed about this first beat, and then he's played it on Choice FM, and I was like, yeah, this is, like, all these little things have happened, showing me that I can actually take this further than what I ever thought I could. Because I'm just having fun with it, treating it like a hobby, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, from there I started taking production seriously after that.
Was that a garage beat that got played on Choice FM?
It was more grime, bro. I can't lie. It was more... Because at that time, it was... Garage was hot, but grime was just coming through. It was the pay-as-you-go kind of era. Wiley was killing it. Dizzy Rascal was killing it. So I was getting into that now, listening to, like, grime and Rough Squad on Deja Vu, 93, all of that. So I started producing grime. I never really produced garage. As a producer, I started making grime. So, yeah.
Was Channel U there then, or was that not yet? Was that a few years on?
It was around, but I wasn't on it yet. Yeah, but that was like a lot of the like grime lot were on there. But I don't think it took off yet until like I started putting stuff on there and N-dubs and you know what I'm saying, N-dubs and all them lot, and yeah, from there it's different.
That was like a new wave of music. So after producing, just not to skip straight to Channel U, you then become the artist.
So it was kind of it was a process though. So I was producing from there seriously. Started making beats properly. I downloaded FL Studios, went crazy with it, and then I got introduced to a lot of other artists around North London. So I got introduced to like Black the Ripper, rest in peace. Cookie, one of my boys, Cookie, that was killing it in North at the time. And then one of my best friends said, yo, I got this young MC from North as well. He was like, he goes to my school. He's like, you need to listen to him. So he brings him to my house. I had the home set up at the time. And Chipmunk knew who I was at the time because of my beats were floating around. And he was like, yeah, I'm Chipmunk, man. I'm a new MC, young, I want to get on one of your beats, man. Let's do it. And then we were both young at the time. Obviously, he's a bit younger than me, so we just started working from there. So I was producing for Chipmunk at the time, started putting out stuff with him. And a lot of this early stuff is on YouTube. So, like, before the hits, we were making, like, these kind of girls' songs and rhythms like that. But I just realised I got to a point, like, all these songs that I was producing for all these artists, like, were popping off in North London. I was thinking, no, man, like, I'm just the guy. I've always been the guy in the background, like, Soul Solid Crew tour, I'm the warm-up, you know, I'm always the guy in the background, so I'm thinking I need to do something next that's going to make me be the guy in front of the camera, do you know what I mean? Even though I was, like, super shy and quiet at the time, there was something about being, like, being the artist that interested me, do you know what I'm saying? So, at the time, a lot of grime artists were just popping off with the one-liners, like, you know them liners from back in the day, like, I'll do this and do that. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not from the roads like that. I'm not from the streets, so I need to come in a different way where I'm going to make some noise. I was thinking, you know, I love women. I love my girls, man. So let me do some music for the girls. So I started doing Gallem tunes, like Wifey just come out, I think, Wifey Rhythm. And I asked Tiny to send me the instrumental because I knew Tiny at the time from MSN. I just said, send the instrumental, whatever. And then I just recorded my own version of Wifey, put that out on YouTube. Then I had a mad reaction from that. I think it was on my MySpace, sorry, not even on YouTube, yeah. Had the maddest reaction. And then from there, that's another thing that kind of led me into wanting to be an artist, man.
What was your first single that you could say changed your life?
I would say So Nice, because that was the first song that I ever done a video for and sent to Channel U. And from that day, when I sent it to Channel U, my life hasn't been the same. So I would say it has to be that song. At the time, obviously, Channel U was popping, and, you know, I never knew how to get onto it, but one of my friends was like, yo, you just go to this address, slip in this disc, whatever, send them £50, bish, bash, bosh, you're on Channel U. So I was like, cool, let me do that. Done that, sent it to them. Next week, we get an email, whatever, saying, we love your video, we're going to put it out at this time, da-da-da. And then, went up on Channel U, and it was number one on Channel U for like 18 weeks or something, bro. Like, mad. Everyone requesting it every week, and it went mad from there. Like that was when I stopped being just a producer and DJ in my bedroom to when I walk outside, schoolgirls and everyone from school on the buses are just going crazy.
How did that make you feel?
Famous. That's how it made me feel. Now, at the time, it just made me feel like, this is crazy, bro. Like, this is everything that I've worked hard for is paying off. Even though this wasn't the aim, it was like, I'm going further than I ever thought I'd ever be. Like, everything I'm doing, I'm going further. I don't know how this is happening. And, like, it's just one song I've just worked. It's my first song, bro. So nice. Do you know what I mean?
So Nice comes out.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who you are.
Yeah.
Channel You don't turn it off, because I remember.
Yeah, they didn't turn it off.
They didn't turn it off.
Do you know what's mad, though? I just remembered, bro. Sorry to cut you. I was going to college at this time as well, in Bow. I was going to a music college. But I'm so quiet. I'm walking into the classes with my hood up, doing my lessons and going home. Meanwhile, I'm like #1 on Channel U. And no one clocks that I'm like the guy. They're not putting 2 and 2 together until one day, probably like 3 weeks into it being #1 or 4 weeks into it. Some guy's like, hold on, I swear you're Ironic. I'm like, yeah, bro, how you know? Da-da-da. He's like, how come you're so quiet in here, but you're like famous on Channel U? I'm just like, bro, I was like chilling. And then from there, word spread. And then next thing you know, everyone starts treating you different. Just from that one moment, but yeah.
I remember being in my friend Michael's bedroom after school. You just hang out with your friends after school.
Yeah.
And we would always put Channel U on, because that was the thing to watch at the time.
Proper,
and they did not turn Ironic off.
Like, do you know what? It annoyed some people. Like, I don't know why, but it was the requests, bro. Like, people were, like, the girls especially were requesting crazy at that time.
That might be why it was annoying people, because making girl tunes wasn't the thing back then.
Exactly.
And you definitely paved the way for that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why the man them was getting annoyed, like.
Oh, bro, 100%. I remember just going out after that, and some man them will be, you know, where you're all young and other young man them are there, like, look at this guy getting all the like, you start seeing people change, man. For me, that was a big, weird thing, because I'm not, I like girls, but I'm just a quiet boy. Like, I'm not from the roads. I'm just a quiet guy just cracking on with music. Do you know what I'm saying? And at the time, my thought process wasn't like, I'm just going to get famous. I'm just going to take all the girls. My thought process was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out because everyone's doing that. You know what I'm saying? When people are going left, I'm going to try go right. Do you get it? So, and that was it, man. And then everything went mad from there.
So Nice comes out, you're popping. Do you then see a vision to take it further, or is it still like, I don't know whether this will be it, or because you said that you didn't aspire to be. So once So Nice came out, did you see a path to go clear in music then, or not?
Still not clear, because we don't have a formula of people making music and blowing up and taking it further than Channel U. Do you get it? Like, charts wasn't a thing for UK rappers at that time. Like, being in your top 5 charts you don't just do that. That was no, I don't even think Kano had top 5s then. It was like a Soul Solid thing. You know what I mean? I'd never seen that. So that isn't even in my vision. But what is in my vision now is I need to make another one for Channel U. So I'm like, I need to be on Channel U again, because after a while that all died down. Do you get it? So
is that where Stay With You came?
So yeah. So then obviously I get back in the studio. I'm like, boy, what else can I do? I need to make another one of these, but I don't want it to sound the same. Rude Kid produced So Nice, so I was like, I need to hit up some other producers to work on Stay With Me. And then hit up a few producers, and then this guy on MSN called Alex sends me the sample, the Westlife sample, and he's like, bro, what do you think of this? Could you jump on this? I'm like, oh, this is touching me. And at the time, there was a lot of like knife crime going on around England, like heavy. So I was like, you know what, let me try to touch on that, or something that people can relate to in different ways, like a life telling, because there was like different topics that you could do as a MC back then. It was like girl tunes, life tunes, or street, like road tunes, innit? So I was just like, all right, let me do a life kind of one. And recorded Stay With Me, done the same thing, sent it to Channel U, sent them the P's. This time they got a bit more faith, because the last one was going #1 18 weeks. They're like, this one is a hit on here. You know what I'm saying? So I went crazy on my MySpace. Everyone vote, request, do your thing, da-da-da-da-da. Bro, next thing, it's gone mad again. 2 weeks later, probably 3-4 weeks later, I'll say, my house phone rings. And then my mum's like, oh, Atlantic Records have just called, by the way. They want to have a meeting with you. I'm like, wait, Atlantic Records is who Diddy signed to, T.I. signed to. Like, these are artists I see on TV. What are you talking about? Why did they want to talk to me? So I didn't believe that call was even happening until we went there. But that was like another step where it's just gone mad, bro.
Did they sign the song?
Yeah, so we had meetings. They called me in the next week. Obviously, my mum was my manager at the time because I never knew. Bro, I was a kid, man. I never knew anything at that point. No business accolades. I didn't have a clue. So my mum was there to help, and she didn't really either until now. She knows a bit more, but we was pretty clueless walking in that building, man. But we ended up signing a deal. They signed the song, but the video was already out on Channel U, like I said. So they were like, let's take it off Channel U. Let's redo the whole thing. So they filmed another video. So on YouTube, there's 2 versions of videos of Stay With Me. And I was thinking that was a bit weird, if I'm honest, because I was like, the song's already out, it's already popping, why are we going to do a whole new thing? I was thinking, this ain't going to work. Obviously, these lot are giving me peas, I'm cool with the peas, I don't mind. I didn't think charts, still no charts. Then we put out the song, we do the video, we put it out, the video's going mad, MTV, I've never been on MTV before, MTV Base at the time. You know, and people are calling me like, bro, you're wearing this red leather jacket. Like, this jacket's iconic, bro. Like, this is a moment in UK history. People are going crazy. They've never seen this video so glossy and, you know, it was mad. So we put it out. And then I remember in the midweek charts, it was at like number 25 in the midweek charts when we released it. And I was thinking, this is mad. I'm in the top 40. Like, how does that happen? And then I remember, like, Tinchi Strider called me that week as well. He was like, bro, how have you done this? Like, you're in the middle of your top 25, you know, this is mad. I was like, I know, we couldn't believe it. And then by the time it comes to the end of the week, we ended up getting up to number 5 by then. And then that was like, it's mad. Like, we had never seen this before.
We've definitely never seen this before.
Yeah.
I remember that getting bigger very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Did you ever have... Was a Westlife sample, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a conversation with Westlife about that?
Yeah, I actually know a couple of them, yeah. Well, obviously, we had to, like, re-record the whole thing. So, like, even in the process of them saying we need to redo the video, they were like, we need to re-record the whole song because I'm recording in my bedroom, everything. So nice to record it in my bedroom. And I don't know how to mix. Like, we know how to mix now, but I didn't know about compression. And so my vocals are very muffly on the original version. And they sent me into like Abbey Road and all these big studios. Now they're like, you need to record it properly, get your vocals right, you know what I mean? And then we had to get the sample re-sung, get the producer to reproduce it and just revamp it. So yeah, but Westlife were always supportive of it. So yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Tiny Dancer.
Jeez. Wait, that was after that. Yeah, I had one other single in between. But that was just like top 30 or something.
That was just top 30.
You know what I'm saying? No, but these days, top 30s, everyone's getting them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just to bring the context, though, when I was coming out, top 30 was mad to me. But these days, like, light ones.
That's probably because people like you paved the way and made that possible.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But let's talk about Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer is... I love this song, yeah, but it was such a risk for me to do that song, I feel like. Because, you know, I've just told you, like, some of the background and coming up and, you know, coming from garage and grime and working with all these MCs to then turn around and be like, I'm going to work with Elton. So Elton now, sorry, guys. It's like, at that time, it's a bit like people would say, like, sellout kind of thing, do you know what I mean? And even till now, people call my generation or my era, like the pop era, like me, Chipmunk, and me and Chip spoke about this before, but you know, like, all these songs prior to Tiny Dancer are made in my bedroom. Like, no one sat me down with a gun and said, make this song. Do you know what I mean? And there's no label. These are just songs that we made and got really popular. But Tiny Dancer is one song where the label kind of got involved and came to me. And the A&R at the time said to me, listen, we need another hit, because Stay With Me was cool, but you can't be a one-hit wonder, basically. He was like, you need another hit. And he was like, we got this sample by Elton John that we think could really work. And I'm sitting there thinking, is he joking, bro? Like, I come from grime and that, like, and he's asking me to work with Elton John. Obviously, at that time, bro, like, my mind's ignorant. I'm ignorant to the biggest scale of how big this can be, do you know what I'm saying? But he sent me the sample. I was like, this could work. We started recording it. Didn't think it would be a hit. I said to my A&R at the time, listen, I think we need to get someone else on this, someone who I've been working with since I was young, someone from grime. And then I said to him, my boy Chip, we need to get a verse from him on the second verse. And he was like, cool, let's do it. And Chip was just bubbling at that time as well. And then that song ended up being my biggest song again after that. Yeah.
Was that round about the time that Chip released Who Are You, or was it?
Yeah, so he just released Who Are You? And then maybe Chip Diddy Chip after that. Then Tiny Dancer came. And that was his first charting single. That was my second as well at the time. And like both of us just went like that. Because this, now I'm stepping into this Channel U thing was cool. Channel U fame was sick. But like this next level with Sir Elton, I'm on like Radio 1 and TV channels was asking me to come on and like, you know what I'm saying? Like different communities that I ain't touched before, like asking me to be involved. So it was like a whole different world that I didn't even, bro, newspapers outside my door and things like that. It's a whole different world. So I was like, from there I was like, this is another step that I've got to. I don't know how, but it's mad.
It's crazy to see that you and Chip came from there and you both made a success of yourselves and you're still good friends now. Bro, many years on.
Trust me,
how do you deal with that fame when it gets like that, when there's newspapers outside your door? And
yeah. So just after that, it started getting a bit like I'm saying, like a bit out of hand. Like I'm getting with women, and at this time I'm still young, so I'm naturally just being a young lad. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping with girls, and they're going back to the papers, and then my mum's telling me there's news journalists out, like News of the World outside the door. So I was like, this is a bit weird because I didn't sign up for this. I just make music. Like, what's going on? But at the same time, I couldn't complain because man's like living the dream. Do you get it? But it was just a different situation, bro. And I've never seen a UK artist get that before until like now. Obviously, you got the new generation of Central C and Stormzy. I've never seen that level of fame from a UK rapper. So for me, it was like I really had to like take the bullet for certain things, being the first through the door. You know, they say the first one through the door always gets shot. You get it? Or gets shot first or whatever. So I had to take all of that, dodgy deals, you know, all the news articles that come out and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like Stormzy probably gets the same thing now, but maybe more mad. But at the same time, I can't complain. We had good times. Like I walk out through a shopping mall and everyone's going mad, you know what I'm saying? And just showing so much love, bro. So it was different, bro. You know, we were still here, bro.
Do you have a relationship with Elton John?
No. Not like a full-on friendship where I can call him, no. Basically, when the song came out and done really well, because it was like his biggest selling digital song of all time, he was like really grateful, called me up. But it was like via his manager. So like his manager called me, said, wait there, I've got Elton on the phone. And he was like, yo, bro. He did say, yo, bro. He said, hey, obviously, thank you for, first and foremost, for using the sample and using it in a, you know, genuine way. And he said, congratulations on everything. He said, if you're ever in LA, make sure you come out to one of my parties. I was like, cool, man, sweet. Appreciate that, man. And he sent me champagne as well.
Did you ever go to one of Elton's parties?
Nah. I should have, though, innit?
You should have.
Yeah. But like I said to you earlier, I'm very weird with industry. I try not to be industry too much, even though I'm in the industry. Do you get it? So like all the like mingling and partying and with socializing with other people, I don't really do it much. I should more, because maybe I'll be further in my career. But
you can only be you, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you got this far by being you, so
yeah. Fact.
So let's fast forward a little bit after all that madness has happened. What happened next? Other than a whole lot of partying.
Yeah, so a lot of like after Tiny Dancer, a lot of partying was going on, a lot of rock and roll stuff, bro. I was just, you know, I spoke about it earlier, like me just waking up, drinking champagne, spiraling a tiny bit out of control because I was losing sense of what I got into this for, you get me, and like what I really love doing. So I remember there was a time where I didn't go to studio for like a year and a half. I'm just loving life. You know what I'm saying? 2 top 5 records, biggest rapper in the UK, done every festival you can think of. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Wireless, Glastonbury, like all of them we done. So I was just living life. And then we got to a point where the label said to me, listen, we need to put out another album. We need to start doing this. But Tiny Temper had just come out then. So he was making like Pass Out and a lot of drum and bass kind of soundy stuff. And house, he done the Swedish House Mafia thing. And then the label were like to me, oh, you need to do what Tiny's doing, like make a bit of house or something. And I was like, I don't really know how to make house like that. Like I tried, I got in the studio, but I couldn't mess with it like that. It just weren't my world. And like I don't know. I couldn't get into it, man. So me and the label had a bit of disagreement and kind of parted ways after that, bro. And then I had to look for another deal.
Did you ever rap over garage?
No.
Because I was going to say house is similar to garage on tempo.
It is, yeah.
And it's not too far away from grime. So why couldn't you get with the house?
Because it was no, bro. Now I probably would do it, but I was younger. I'm just like not putting two and two together. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just an ignorant stage of my life. I think I was so young. I wasn't open enough, and that wasn't even just with music. I'd been like, I'm not trying to eat that. I'm not trying to. I was bare ignorant, bro. You know what it's like when you're young. So I was like, I'm not trying to make house. I'll leave that to Tiny. And also, like, going back to before, like, I don't like doing what other people are doing. So if Tiny's doing that, I'm not trying to do what he's doing. I'll make something else. You get it? So I think it was just a disagreement in direction. So it was cool. We done what we needed to do. They took me to a certain level, which I'll always be grateful for. Do you know what I mean? And then we signed another deal after that with BPM Entertainment and then kept it moving. Put out a few other records after that. Do you know what I mean?
So during that process, you've hit every big stage.
Yeah.
You've performed at every festival.
Everywhere, bro. 90,000 capacity, bro.
90,000?
Yeah. T4 on the beach. Everything, bro.
How does it feel to walk out with a microphone in your hand to a stage of 90,000 people?
Boy, it feels like... It feels like you can do anything. Like, you can accomplish anything, really. Do you get it? Like, if you're on this stage and 90,000 people are singing back to you the words of this song you've written at home, you feel like you can accomplish anything, man, like, truly. But a lot of the time, like, at that time, I was drinking a lot, so I didn't feel anything. I can't lie to you. I was numb, bro, like, numb, man. It's not good, bro. I definitely think I went down a path that I wish I didn't, because I would remember so much more as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
So once you've hit all these big stages and you've kind of ticked off the dream, you continue to make music, but you return to DJing also? Yeah. Was you DJing during, or was it just artistry and performing for them few years? It was always artists. So when I got signed, the label said, you need to drop the DJ thing, just be Ironik. They said it might get too confusing if I'm a DJ as well as an artist. You know, nowadays that is everyone's a DJ, artist, producer. You know what I'm saying? But them times, Khaled weren't around like that. Calvin Harris weren't doing his thing like that. Do you know what I mean? So they kind of just made me just do the artist thing. So I didn't produce for years, bro, and I didn't DJ for years. So only until, I would say like 2013, I started getting back into DJing, bro. And I had even lost confidence DJing and producing as well. Like, I fully forgot that like I was good at one of them, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a mad time. Getting back into DJing, what was the first gig that you had after that as a DJ? And can you remember it? That's a good question. Boy, I don't think I can remember, you know? Because obviously 2013, I've done so many since then. I can't remember the exact one, though. No, I can't remember. The reason I asked is because it's a complete different life to be on the stage with a mic in your hand to 90,000 people to being behind the decks in a nightclub. But, you know, I done it gradually, I think. So, like, I'd be booked to perform, but I'll do a little similar to how Craig David's doing it now with the TS5 or whatever. I'll do like a little DJ set and PA at the same time. So I was doing festivals where I'm doing a bit of both, but I can't remember the exact same one. But I hope you was getting paid for 2 jobs. Exactly, yeah. But yeah, man, like obviously after all the success of the music, we kind of I was kind of like in a space where UK music started not dying out, but like that era and that little part of the scene kind of started slowing down. And then everyone started, you know,
going into a different direction, as music does all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I spoke about this in other podcasts, and obviously I had my incident where I got stabbed and all that in 2012. So all of that at the same time made me kind of just go back inside and kind of not want to kind of be an artist anymore, I'll say. So I stopped making music for like 2.5 years, bro. Didn't record anything 3 years. From like 2012 to about 2015 probably.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. I don't mind. I'm easy talking about it, but I've spoke about it so much, so I don't want people to think I just talk about it all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? But it is a big part of...
Well, there's a different audience that watches everyone, so I suppose we can talk about it. What actually happened in through your eyes?
Yeah. So basically, I was on my way home from a show in Southend, and you know, it was Halloween, firework night kind of times. So everyone's like in fancy dress, in masks and all that. But we get to the end of my road. I live down like a steep hill, and we pull up outside. The tour managers drop me off, and I get out, and two guys run up to me with balaclavas on. But I'm thinking they're just playing a joke because it's Halloween or whatever. I couldn't understand what was happening, bro. So I kind of start laughing, innit? And then one of them punches me, whatever. And I'm thinking, whoa, this ain't one of my friends, and this is serious. So I start running. And then I look behind me, and I can see he's kind of near me. So one of them punches me. I thought it was a punch, but I guess that was when they stabbed me. And then I dropped to the floor, and then they just asked me for my jewelry, basically. That was all they wanted. They were just like, where's your ring? Kept saying my ring in particular. Where's your ring? So what I did was I threw my ring across from me so that they would move away from me. Like, I proper threw it, so then they ran towards the ring. Then I ran back down my mum's road. But then there was a car coming towards me, so then I realised, oh, there's a few people that set me up here because there's a lot going on. There's two people chasing me, one person in a car trying to barricade me in. So I just had to, I'm just trying to get away, bro, because I'm thinking someone's trying to kill me in my head at this point. And I still didn't know I'd been stabbed at this point. So I run to my neighbour's house, and I said, I'm just knocking on her door. I was like, they're trying to kill me out there. Someone's trying to kill me. She's like, who? Are you okay? Whatever. I'm like, I'm fine, but they're trying to kill me. Shut the door, whatever. So she shuts the door, and she's like, James, you all right? Are you sure you're all right? I'm like, I'm fine. Da, da, da. And then there's like a puddle of blood there just pouring from my legs. So she's like, you sure you're all right? You're bleeding. I'm like, oh, I didn't even clock that I'd been stabbed. So I look down. Then I start panicking. I wasn't even panicking before that because I didn't know I was running off adrenaline. And then kind of had a little fainting kind of moment thing. And yeah, bro, that was pretty much it. And went to the hospital. I was in hospital after that. But, you know, in that moment, like it just, bro, like I've explained, like from 13, all I've known is music, yeah? I've never been involved in any other things. I've never been a show-offy kind of guy. I've always respected people, and I've always tried to be a respectful artist, musician, do things right, do you know what I'm saying? So when this happened, I kind of felt like this ain't why I do music, to have situations like this happen to me, do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a shy guy, bro. Like, if anyone meets me, I'm super quiet, super chilled, super shy. Like you said earlier, like, I'm always so, like, relaxed. I'm super chilled, so everyone was calling me like, how did this happen to you, bro? I don't understand. Like, why are people out here doing that to you? Like, there's proper gang stuff going on the streets. Like, you're not involved in anything. So I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, it's mad. So I was just like having a moment where I was like, should I even do this anymore, bro? Like, or should I just stay in my yard and just made my money, had the success? I might as well just chill now if that's what's going to happen when I go out on the street. So I was like, moved out of London by myself, didn't talk to anyone. I actually lived in a hotel for like 3-4 months, then moved into a place, didn't talk to anyone, bro, didn't trust anyone. You know, postman knocks on my door, I'm thinking, who's outside, looking on cameras, and just like bare untrustworthy. So I was like, I didn't do anything, I didn't record no music. That was from 2012 to like 15. So a lot of people think in that time, where did Ironik go? I had all these hits, and then all of a sudden stopped. That was a big part of that. Do you get it? It was like real life setting at that point. I never had a real life situation like that ever happen to me. So for me, it was very eye-opening. And, you know, I hate when people say, they're like, what happened to you, man, at that time? Like, I don't know where else I could have took it, but that was what happened, and I had to stop because things were happening that was mad. So yeah,
Yeah, it's traumatic, man, and
yeah,
it's hard because you saw this success, you was never involved in that life,
yeah,
and to get hit so hard, so fast, it's gonna almost take you out of what you know,
yeah,
and put you in a hole.
100%, bro, and it just makes you. It deflates you. Like after everything, man's trying to work hard and do well and show even some of the youth of today that man can really make it out and do good things. And then for that to happen, it's like it hurts, man. So I lost everything. Like I lost my confidence at that time. I didn't trust anyone. And I'm saying like even people in the industry. So like after that, I would like walk into like rooms and just not feel confident, bro. I would feel like, should I even be here, kind of thing. Do you get it? So that was my life, bro, from like 2012 until like 2016, and then from there things went back up again. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Thank you for your vulnerability.
It's calm, come on, bro.
So 2016, you're back outside.
Yeah, back outside, heavy.
Heavy. Elaborate.
Well, all right. So in between that time, like I said, I was stuck at home, not doing anything, no confidence, being this like bum, like not doing nothing, bro. Literally, I do a couple shows to keep the lights on. That's it. And then 2014, I'm partying a lot again. Start partying a bit, and then I meet my missus, yeah. And then that changes a lot of things, man. Like, I know, sorry, I'm just getting into everything because I want people to know the schedule of what's happened.
It's a crazy life you've lived, bro. We want to hear it all.
Yeah, so I meet the missus and she put something in me that I had never had before and I hadn't seen for years because in between then I've been meeting girls that just weren't giving me anything. You know, it was a nice one night or whatever, but apart from that, I never got anything back from girls. Do you know what I mean? No sort of attachment, no sort of real emotion. So when I met her, it really changed everything because I felt like, right, like I've actually met a good girl. She's genuine. She doesn't care about who I am and what I do. And more importantly, she's pushing me at this time, yeah, to remember who I am. So she's telling me like someone will invite me, say, yeah, to this big like industry party. Come down to this industry party. Ironik, get invited. I'm like to her, I don't even want to go. I can't be bothered. She's like, are you crazy? Do you know who you are? Walk in that room with your head held high and make sure you remember all the accolades you've done and all the stuff you've achieved. You know what I'm saying? And she put that battery in my back and made me feel confident again and want to walk into these rooms and remember who I am and what I can do when I'm booked at this festival. You know what I mean? She really helped out a lot in that way. So from there, everything started going back up. I started working on music again, started recording again. And then in 2015 to 16, I started working on my second album, Truth Be Told, with AO Beats on the first single, Watch Nothing. And things started going good again, man. Radio, streams, everything.
Watch Nothing was a big tune.
Jeez. Yeah, that one was ringing off, man. Do you know what? That was like another moment for me. Even though it wasn't like the success of Stay With Me or Tiny Dance or any of them songs, but it was still like, man's been in this game like 10 years and man can still put out a record that's slapping in clubs and on radio and stuff like that. So for me, that was really, bro, I felt really proud of that one, man. And also, I was so used to making songs that were like slow and like get them tunes. To finally have a song that even I could play in the clubs and when I'm DJing, like I was like proper grateful for that. Like, I'm making fun music, do you know what I'm saying?
So you're the artist that's kind of got to cut yourself a dub plate.
Yeah, literally, I've done that before. That's the thing. Yeah, 100%, man.
So you're releasing music again.
Yeah.
You're DJing in the clubs again.
Yeah.
Would you say you was the happiest in your life then?
Yeah, I would say from 2015 to now, it's been the best time of my career. Life, I don't know, life is different, innit? Probably my life as well, yeah, but I remember being a kid and young and loving life too. But since I've been in music, this has been the happiest I've been and the most free I've felt as well, yeah. I
want to talk to you about business.
Yeah.
Because it's not just music anymore, even though music is a business.
Yeah.
But Icon Studios.
Yeah.
For you to be all of the roles that you are as a musician, for you not to have a studio would be crazy.
It didn't make sense.
So you open Icon Studios.
Yeah.
Talk me through that.
So during lockdown, like I've always had a thought of having my own studio. It's always sounded good, but I've never really, had the time to kind of look into it and look into buildings and things like that, man. And then lockdown came and, we was all sat at home. And these times I was still doing all the, everyone was on the house parties and clubhouse and all that stuff. But I wanted to look into some things that I had never been able to do because I've been busy before. So I started going to a few artist studios, like Wiley was doing his parties at his Esky studio. And then like NSG had their own studio, which was lit. I went to K Coke's studio one day. He was like, come down, listen to my album. I'm sitting in these artist studios thinking, this is cold. Like they got the plaques up, the big sign. I'm thinking, why haven't I got this? Like, I'm just chilling. Like my plaques are at home, which is nice, but it would look good in the studio. And also during lockdown, I started bringing a few artists to my house in it to record. But I was thinking that's not really great with the missus there and neighbours and stuff like that. So I was like, let me just build a studio, start a studio, and then rent it out to younger artists that are coming up, and then I can work there as well. So we started that in lockdown, man. Best decision I made in years, can't lie.
So do you have engineers working in your studios? Is your studios available to the public as well?
Yeah, it's available to rent out. Obviously, we make sure we pretty much know some of the artists that come in and out. But the engineers, we've got a couple young, new engineers that we're working with and producers that are cold, bro. And that was like a big part of why I wanted to open it, man. There's so much talent out there with the artists that I've got coming in and out. We've had D Block Europe in there, we've had Wes Nelson, Hardy Caprio, all these artists working in there to the young artists that are working in there, for them to know that they're seeing some of these big artists come through as well, and they even meet them crossing paths and that. Like, I love that. That's what it's about, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it's been good, man.
It's going to be inspiring for any young artist to walk into a room where you can say that, oh yeah, D Block's been in here, Hardy Caprio's been in here, Ironik's been in here,
and like that's what I wanted it to feel like when you walk in. Like I've got the plaques up and some of the streaming plaques, and then I've got, like I said, I've got like a big poster which has like all the album covers that inspired me, and I think opened the doors for a lot of the artists that are around today. So we've got the Soul Solid Crew album on there. I've got Giggs' first mixtape in there. I've got Skepta's first album on there, Home Sweet Home, Boy in the Corner, all them pinnacle important albums that I feel like the younger generation need to either try to aim to make one of them or just be inspired by it. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's very important. So yeah, bro.
If you're under 25, go and listen to the records that paved the way.
Yeah, all them ones I just mentioned, please. Because if you're over 25, you know. Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Fast forward.
Yeah.
Ironik brings out a sunglasses brand.
Come on. Out now.
We'll just zoom in there.
Yeah, do you know what? We're actually sold out, actually, at the moment. The latest collection sold out. But that's another decision that just came from lockdown, man. I think, lockdown, I feel like obviously it was a mad time. And, some people, I feel like it could have either made you or broken you, like really, literally, because I feel like there was a lot of people that, had plans to do things but didn't follow them through. But I actually had these plans that I've always wanted to do, but I finally had the time to do some research, look into resources and things like that. And this was something that I've just been thinking of for like the last 10 years, bro. I've been wearing sunglasses my whole career. It just makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But I never knew, like, where do I get them designed? Where do I make them? How do I get them manufactured? And then we done the research during lockdown. My missus helped me out and some of my friends. And we just came together, man. Started the first collection in 2020. And then second collection, 2021. Third collection just came out this summer, sold out. Had meetings with Vision Express and a few other big companies that want to work with us, and just going up, bro. Like, it's mad. So hopefully next year we just keep going, man. So, yeah.
I want to talk to you quickly about the Mobos.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Mobos.
Mobo Awards, boy, man, for me, Mobo Awards was like something you'd watch as a kid and feel like it's like the Grammy Awards. Do you know what I'm saying? It definitely felt like something I never knew I would be at one day. I remember like everyone says the iconic scene of seeing like Soul Solid Crew, all the members on the stage picking up that mobile award. I always remember that as a kid because we all watched that. Do you know what I'm saying? So to be on that stage like years later was mad. Even just being at the mobiles for me would have been a moment just to be there and take in the culture and the industry, the scene. Do you know what I'm saying? So when they called me up and said you're nominated for best newcomer the first year, I was like, this is man. And I was nominated against some of my friends, Chipmunk, Skepta. It was a crazy moment, I can't lie. Chip took that one as well, actually. Big up Chippy. And then the next year, nominated for best artist, male artist, and perform. It was mad, yeah.
So, when you were at the Mobos, did your sunglasses come off once?
Nah, bro, the sunglasses... Actually, did I take them off? No, I didn't take them off on stage once.
You was definitely the first person to make it cool to wear sunglasses...
Indoors.
Anywhere. Indoors, outdoors, when it was raining, it didn't matter. Ironik had his sunglasses on.
People still look at me like, why you got your sunglasses indoors? You know the loophole, bro. If I walk down the street now without my sunglasses, no one recognises me. But if I put them on, people will be like, is that DJ Ironik? That's the maddest thing. So I can walk around calmly, no sunglasses.
You could say it's acceptable in here because there's bright lights on you.
Yeah, true.
But when I met you outside in the dark, I think you had them on as well.
Yeah. No, it made sense that the sunglasses range made total sense, and I'm trying to build it much bigger than it is now. So we still got some steps to go. But yeah, man, I need to get you a lot of pair as well.
Would appreciate that.
Come on.
I take a lot of flights. Yeah. So you done something really, really unusual that not a lot of artists can say they have done.
Yeah.
And you performed for the Queen and the royal family inside Buckingham Palace.
Inside Buckingham Palace, yeah. Not a lot of artists can say that. Some might be able to say they performed for the Queen. But in Buckingham Palace, yeah, I think I was the first rapper to ever perform in Buckingham Palace, which was mad. That was a mad time. 2012, I think, I got the call to do it, and they needed me to write a song to do with Romeo and Juliet for the performance with the dance group and all the other performers. So I had like 2 weeks to write the song about Romeo and Juliet, write the rap, and we had a singer on it. I worked with some great producers, and then we got to rehearse in Buckingham Palace like a day before the performance. So I'm just walking around casually in Buckingham, in Bucks, you know what I'm saying? Exquisite chairs, like the gold everywhere, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was surreal, like an experience that... Something that I don't know, like, it's who does that? That's mad. Like, who performs in Buckingham Palace is crazy. So that's something I'll always remember, man, and something I'm very grateful that I got to do. Do you know what I mean? And then that was also one of the performances I brought my mum to watch. She came along with me. I got to put on like a nice suit, and you know what I'm saying, and got to perform, man. It was just a proper proud thing, I think, for my mum as well. She's obviously watched the Queen since she was young. So, like, it was just mad, man. That's it.
So, I'm guessing your normal rider when you're DJing in the nightclub or performing at a festival would involve alcohol.
Yeah.
So did you tell Liz that?
I need that Ciroc on the rider. Like, do you know what? Performing in Buckingham, that was like one of the first times for me that I didn't drink before performing, obviously, because it was such a big thing, and you can't just walk in. There's not a bar in Buckingham Palace. You can't just get drinks. You can't just bring in a bottle. Like, they search you as you're walking in. You got to walk through metal detectors. You know what I'm saying? So I knew going into it, I'm not drinking before I perform. Obviously, usually I'll have a drink before I perform to settle the nerves, or whatever. So this was one time where I really got to like feel every feeling I felt for the performance, which was good, man. It was definitely eye-opening for me, because after it I walked away thinking that I can actually do shows and perform without having to get hammered or drink. Like, you don't need to do that, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that was good. That was a good look still.
That's amazing, bro. Like we said, not many people can say that they've done that, so
yeah, man,
congratulations on that.
Thank you, bro. And I got the letter at home on the wall as well from the Queen.
Is it signed by her?
Signed by her, yeah. It says thank you for being a part of the performance, we loved it, etc. Yeah, it's good, man.
Wicked. I want to ask you a couple of quick-fire questions just before we finish.
Come on, I like these ones.
Sit up. 3 things are on Ironic's rider.
Bottle of Ciroc, towels, and Red Bull.
Ironic's 3 favourite meals.
Ooh, curry goat, rice and peas. That's one, yeah. 3 favourite meals. That's hard. Cheese. I'll do a little Nando's wings and chips. 10-piece though. And then, what else? 3rd favourite meal.
Just on the wings, you doing wing roulette or you picking a flavour?
No, I'm picking the flavour. Wing roulette's too risky, bro.
Which flavour? You didn't want me to ask that on camera.
No, I need to ask that.
Don't say ketchup.
No, lemon and herb thing, though.
No, there's nothing wrong with lemon.
All right, cool. All right.
Some people might disagree in the comments, but for me, there's nothing wrong with
I like
lemon.
peri tamer as well, though, to be fair. And then 3rd meal, what's our 3rd? Like pasta, innit? I like pasta, so yeah.
3 artists that Ironic would like to work with, whether it be producer, DJ, rapper or singer, worldwide.
Well, worldwide, jeez. All right, Drake, definitely. I'm probably his biggest fan, 100%. Who I haven't worked with? Central C, probably. And J Huss. Yeah, that's good. Them 3, I'm happy with that.
That would be a crazy collab.
Yeah. And I probably mean more as a producer on all 3 of them. Because I haven't wrote a rap in about a year, so...
What's a quote that you live by?
One main one that I like to say is hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard enough. So like that's a big part of what I like to do. I like to work hard. Like I know for a fact I'm not the best MC or best rapper or probably best DJ, bro, and best producer, but I know that I work harder than majority of them, do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're putting in the work and putting in the effort, obviously you still have to have a level of talent, but if you're putting in the work, you're definitely going to go further than a lot more people, do you know what I'm saying? So I always remember that.
What motivates you now?
Keeping my career alive, to be fair, if I'm honest. Like, for me, it's like, 13, I said I got my first pair of decks. Man's grown up now, and man's been in the scene for like 10 plus years. So for me, even being on this podcast, DJing all around the world, still in 2022, 2023, I'm very grateful, bro. And that's what drives me, just to know that people still even want to jet for me. Very grateful, bro.
I think that's inevitable when you're as real as you are. You've only ever been yourself.
Facts,
Thank you for your time today.
Thank
I
you,
enjoyed
bro.
that conversation.
Come on, man.
And keep being you, bro. Keep winning.
Thank you, bro.
And we'll see you again soon.
Appreciate it. Come on.
You've been listening to Insight with the Podcast Club, and that was the one and only legendary DJ Ironik.
Jeez. Hey, that was sick.